Ladies and gentlemen, I've done it. I've done it. I turned my back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Rudelife NASA has turned his back. Now, before you sit back and say, "Oh, you're a sellout. You turned your back. You freaking sellout. Why did you do it?" You're not supposed to do that. You ain't a real one. You ain't a real person. You ain't a real nigga. That's what y'all about to say, right? Cause I said I turned my back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I turned my back. I turned my back on my past. Turn my back on my old ways. Turn my back on some of the friends that I don't need. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I felt like I had to do it. Okay, because when I was hanging out with my friends before, I wasn't focused. And then when I was focused, my friends wasn't focused. The people that I call my brothers and my sister and my family wasn't focused. They were focused on the wrong things. My environment that I was a part of wasn't good for me. It wasn't sustainable for me. It wasn't where I needed to be. It's a saying going around where somebody said you could be around a group of people, you could be around a lot of people, but you still feel alone. Have you ever been around a lot of people but you still felt alone? You felt like you had people who care about you. You had people who are there for you, but you still feel alone. Or how about when you had a job but you just wasn't happy because that's not where you wanted to be. That's not what you wanted to do. Now you loved your job, and you loved your job, you loved your job, but deep down you was like, nah, this ain't for me. Or maybe you loved your job, but you got a taste of another life, and you was like, this feels better. This feels great. I understand this more. I feel more at peace with the life that I'm choosing now. Or have you ever had friends that you were cool with, but it was just when you start sitting back and you start watching things, you start to sit back and you start to see that your friends are negative. Maybe it's your spirit telling you that you gotta back away from certain things. Maybe you see things and you just sit back like I can't do. It's okay, I get it. I understand because that's what I did. That's what I mean when I said I turned my back. That's what I meant. I turned my back on my old ways, people. I turned my back on my old friends. I turned my back. See, I don't want to party. Let me tell you something. Rule Life NASA can party with the best of them. Rule Life NASA can probably do anything you can do and better. But I just choose not to party. I want to have a more disciplined and honorable lifestyle. A more righteous and disciplined and honorable lifestyle. So that means I'm not gonna be out here partying. I'm not gonna be out here doing unnecessary stuff. I'm more focused on me, my business, and my peace. If you can believe what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta get away from the get away from the club. Get away from the distractions. Get away from the easy distractions, the women, the alcohol, the drugs. See, you do alcohol, you do drugs when you can't cope with things, when you just want to have a vibe and live the best life. Sometimes them drugs aren't the best life. Sometimes the alcohol isn't the best life. Sometimes the best life is the life that you choose to make it for yourself and lead. You gotta lead yourself into a good life. That's what people don't understand. I know I'm I know I'm pausing a little bit when I talk because I want this to marinate. I want you to kind of walk into this. So I'm kind of gonna slow walk you. How many people sit up and think I could do something? I know I'm capable of doing it, but my fears hold me back from doing it. How many people are afraid or they procrastinate, not even being afraid, okay? Let's not say the word afraid because I think that I don't think it's a picture of being afraid. I think that what we watch on the news, how what we let society do to us, I think that's what we're afraid of. Once we break the curse of negativity and the negativity that society has on us, we won't be afraid. But let's just say, how many people procrastinate? They know they want to do something, but they just don't have the get up and go to go do it. So what's gonna make you get up and go do it? What's gonna make you get up and go follow your dreams? So you're happy with the 9 to 5, working 40 hours a week. So let me tell you something. When you sit up here and you go do a regular job for 40 hours a week, which I have no problem with, if that's what you want to do. But suddenly you spend 40 hours on doing something that you want to do. So you rather work for somebody else than work for yourself, or go follow your dreams and do what makes you happy. Because of why? Because we were taught that the world is ran by money. See that way of thinking just made me yawn. Because the reason why I yawned is because I feel like, excuse me. The reason why I yawned is because I feel like you're making excuses. I feel like as soon as some things come in people's direction and they don't know how to get around it, they don't know how to face it, they don't know how to overcome it, they let it stop. You want to know what I mean? What I mean is you have a dream, you have something you want to do, you want to live your own life, you want to follow your own path, but you're so worried about what your friends think. You're so worried about what your mom thinks, your dad thinks, your family thinks, that you don't follow your own path. So let's basically completely honest, completely clear and completely honest here, people. Your life is not your mom's life. Your life is not your dad's life. Your life is not your family's life. It's your life, which you have to live that life. So live it the way you want to live it. Mhm. Live it the way you want to live it. But when you live this life, when you sign up to live the life you want to live, understand it's gonna come with work. Understand it might have to come with sacrifice. Yes, in order to do things that you want to do, you might have to sacrifice some things. Might have to sacrifice your friends. Might have to sacrifice your family. But if you have goals, you gotta go follow those goals. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take work to get those goals. You can't. You can't be in the club and try to reach your goals. You can't be in the streets and try to reach your goals. You have to be dedicated, night in and night out, to what you want to do. It's gonna be times where it's gonna be times where you might be in the crib and you might have to be in the crib and work. It's gonna be times where people are gonna tell you, "Yo, you don't go anywhere. You're just this depressed person." Now, this is what I also want to tell people: just because they decide to stay by themselves and move on their own does not mean that they're depressed. Honestly, when you move on your own and you do things on your own, you're not depressed. You might be focused. You might be thinking of a game plan. See, because people are used to you being around friends and being around family all the time. No. At the end of the day, sometimes all you need is yourself. And you gotta learn how to make business acquaintances, business partners. You gotta learn how to make things work for you. Sometimes if you want something, you gotta go get it or make the situation work for you. And that's what people don't understand. Going to get it means I'm going to go get it no matter what. I'm not going to let anything stop me. Making things work for me is, hey, this may not be the best situation right here, but I'm going to make this work real quick. I'm going to do what I got to do to make this work real quick. And in some senses, it's this thing called work smarter and not harder. That doesn't mean that you don't work. That means you got to be smart about the things you do. Sometimes you can work hard and harder and harder and harder every day. Pause. Because I know we got some weirdos out here, so pause. Shout out to the pause committee. Pause. Sometimes you can work so hard but not be going anywhere. That's because you gotta find a way to make things work for you. Make sure the system that you're trying to overtake, overpower. Make sure the moves. When I say system, that means could be like I work somewhere and I don't really like it. You know what I mean? But I gotta make it work for me. Okay, I'm at a crib and I don't really like it, but I gotta make it work for me. So let me stay here for a couple months, get my money up, and then I'm out of this joint. Let me get like 2 checks from my job, and then I'm out of this joint. I'm just trying to get 2 checks from my job so I can get enough money so I can move out of state and I can go work on my dream. Now, when you work in your dream, you're gonna have to break away from a few things. hmm When you work for your dream, you're gonna have to get away from a few things because everybody is not gonna understand your dream. Everybody's not gonna understand the vision. Everybody's not gonna understand the purpose. But are you? It's your purpose. It's your dream. It's your life. Can't nobody live your life but you. People can be in your life while you're living your life, but can't nobody live your life but you. That's what you gotta understand. Work smarter, not harder. It's kind of funny, right? You know what's funny, right? You got friends that you call your sister, you call your brother. They don't understand your vision. They don't understand why you move the way you move. You move the way you move because you want to find better. You want to do better, right? You got goals, but can you conquer your goals with your friends? Can you conquer your goals with some of your family? Because some of your family is gonna tell you, "Yo, quit what you're trying to do. Go get a 9 to 5." It's a man's job to support and to have a job. That's to make money for the family, right? But you gotta understand something. You have to. This is what you have to do. You have to be around people who support you. You have to be around people who support you. You have to, and that means if she doesn't support you, or if he doesn't support you, you gotta cut it loose. You gotta cut it loose. And again, I know I'm leaving spaces when I'm talking because I'm walking you down, walking you down, because I want this to kind of sink in, because this is a real situation. So yes, that's why I named this special. I turned my back because I turned my back on negativity. Just it's I don't believe in negativity anymore, people. I don't believe in negativity anymore. I don't want to be around negative situations. If all you want to do is party and be out in the streets, you're being negative. That's not what I'm on right now. I live a more disciplined lifestyle. I live a more goal oriented lifestyle. I'm in my spiritual ways right now. I'm on my path. My path does not mean I'm going to end up at the club or drinking a party. No, my path shows me find a way to have self love and self care. Make moves. Let them understand your message by sending your message. Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to turn your back. Sometimes you have to turn your back. You got to turn your back on those who hurt you. You got to turn your back on those who don't believe in you. You got to turn your back on those who are not going into the right direction. You got to step away for those who are following that positive that positive outlook that you have. And what I mean, not following the positive outlook, is like if the person calls you and they just want to talk negative, whether it's about a girlfriend, boyfriend, a bad situation, let it go. I mean, you could give them excuse me, you can give them encouraging words, but if they choose not to follow it and they still want to be on that negative depression move, let it go. The worst thing, the best thing you can give a person who is going down the bad hill is to not go down that bad hill with them. And that means when they call you and they ask you for something all the time, you might have to say no. I can't do it. As much as it hurts you, you have to sit back and say no. I can't do it. If you want to really focus on your dreams and focus on your goals, when they say, "Hey, you want to go to the club, you want to smoke, you want to hang, you want to go here, you want to go there," be like, "No, because I'm focusing on something." Me myself, I cut off a lot of the fat. We gonna call the negative situations. We gonna call the negative people the fat. I cut up a lot of the fat a long time ago. Now, to others, to the outside looking in, the friends that I've had, They weren't negative. They weren't the fat. They weren't fat. They weren't the fat at all. Because they wanted to. They were just friends. You know, we were drinking. You know, we were partying. We were hanging out. We were talking on the phone. But then, like, I started to realize I became too dependent on my friends to the point where it's just like if I didn't talk to them, I was frustrated. I was hurt. I was depressed. And then when I couldn't hang out with them, I got depressed. But then one day I was just like, I gotta cut all this out. And I gotta work on me, which means I had to isolate myself because the period of isolation. I had to isolate myself. Okay, I had to isolate myself, and I had to figure out what was making me so angry and what was making me so sad and why was I feeling depressed like this. A lot of times it was the friends that I was around because some of them had the negative outlook, and then I felt like I couldn't move without them. And sometimes your friends make it so you can't move without them, and I had to back away from everything because I wanted to reset my mind. I wanted to. It's a thing where somebody said when you're going through a lot, where you have a lot of negative situations and you think the worst, it's time to reset your mind. I had to reset my mind. So because I had to reset my mind, it's a lot of times where I'm by myself. It's a lot of times where I'm alone, alone with my thoughts, and I have to get myself out of those thoughts. That happens a lot, but it's okay. It's okay. I turn my back on my negative thoughts. I turn my back on my negative way of thinking. When something doesn't go my way, I don't get mad anymore. I just find another way. When plan A, B, and C doesn't work, I just keep going through the alphabet till it does work. If I don't go through the alphabet, I go through them numbers. If I can't go through those numbers, I go through the Roman numerals. I just never give up. And your energy is very important. The energy that you bring around people can drain energy or can help the energy get farther up. And sometimes the people you're around can really fuck up your energy. Truth be told, the people you're around can mess up your energy. That's why I don't. I'm not around a lot of people. That's why I chill by myself because I believe now that I have exclusive energy, which means not everybody's gonna be around me. I'm not gonna. I don't want to show my face unless I really want to show my face. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. And it sounds like I have a problem to the outside, but for those who really know what I'm talking about, they know what's up. We don't want to compromise our energy with no one because we have a special type of energy. People like me, we got a special calling. We're healers. We'll help how we can help, but we're not going to force anything. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am not afraid to say it. I'm honest, and I will tell you that I did. I turned my back. I turned my back on the way I used to think, turned my back on the way I used to move, turned my back on the people I used to be around. Yes, I turned my back. Definitely turned my back on the way I used to move and the people I used to be around. And I learned how to do things on my own. Since I chose my new life, since I chose my new life, I'm making a lot more moves on my own. I'm chilling by myself. See the outside world, the people. on the outside looking in, they don't have to understand it. That's what people don't understand. They don't have to understand it because I don't owe explanation to anybody. I'm moving for me and me only. That's what you have to understand. When you want to succeed in this world, when you want to move up in this world, understand that you do not owe an explanation to. You do not owe an explanation to anybody in this world. This is your life and your life only. No matter how many friends you lose, no matter how many people don't understand, you don't owe an explanation. You owe yourself to stay on your path. Like I'm staying on my path. And I have a real relationship with God, people. I talk to God like I talk to my homies. And truth be told, I was doing a podcast, the Real Life NASA show. I was doing the Real Life NASA show, and I was like, I'm just not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. So I was like, what can I do to 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 get my message out? But I don't want to do it in a podcast form. So I was laying down one day, and something told my spirit to just do specials where you just say how you feel every once in a while, put it on the channel. And that was the man upstairs. He told me to do specials, and that's what I did. See, because I'm following my path, and because I'm in my I'm in isolation. I isolate myself. I'm able to hear God more clearer, and I'm able to understand the path He wants me to walk. I'm here to understand the path He wants me to stay on. Because me personally, I know that God has opened my doors for all good things to come my direction. No, I don't sit up here and I don't speak on it like I'm at a church or anything, or I don't throw Bible verses out for the people in the public. No, but I know that I have a relationship with God. I know I do. I know I don't go to church like that. I barely go to church. But I have a relationship with God. Me and him have a one on one. And it's always gonna be that way. That's why he made me do these specials like I'm doing. And I had to understand that I did turn my back. I turned my back a long time ago. Do I regret it? No. Because sometimes you gotta learn to turn your back. Sometimes you gotta turn your back on your old ways, your old friends, the old ways you used to think, all that. You gotta reset yourself. You can't allow yourself to be worried about other people's problems. Just worry about yours. And even then, don't even worry, but just know that there's always gonna be a way out. Always. I am Rude Life Dancing. I'll be the first one to admit that I turned my back. And I'm not going back. I am proud of my new life. Peace.